What I will tell you is, you know, seeing that rally, seeing everything, you go back to the candidates and you think about everybody who is doing what they are going to do. And guess what? I hear all the candidates talk about global warming. I hear all the candidates talk about what is happening. I hear all the candidates talking about, oh, well, you know, global warming is a real problem, but nothing to really show that they're going to do something about it. And for me, I'm the type of person, once again, as I said about 10 minutes ago, I believe what I see. I believe facts. I believe what you're going to put out. And the only candidate, when you go to the website, that has the detail is Bernie Sanders. Okay? So that transitions very nicely to Bernie Sanders becoming, like, I want to know more about Bernie Sanders. I feel like he's, I just want to say, I feel like he's, like, and I know Jordan loves Bernie Sanders. He says he's not a fanboy. He's a fanboy. But Bernie Sanders, I feel like, earns that. I feel like he demands respect, and I have no problem giving it to him. One of the things that I believe is I believe that Bernie Sanders has a good reason. So what I will say is, if we are definitely going to be in a situation where they're understanding the candidates and understanding what is going on, you got to understand that this is a major issue. And Bernie talks about what he's going to do with global warming. And this is why people have endorsed him. This is why people have endorsed him, and this is why he's getting a group of people who care about this. And he's also getting other groups. And this is something that I think is super, super important when any candidate, and that is, he is getting a vote that up until about 4 years ago was running at about 22%. Now, recently, that number has doubled to the mid-40s%. And I'm talking about the Latino vote. I'm talking about something that I am partially it. I am 48.6% Spaniard by way of Puerto Rico. My grandmother's grandmother came from Spain to Puerto Rico. My mother was born in Puerto Rico. And the Latino vote, you know, I can speak for Latinos in this sense to say that we smell BS. We will smell BS. I think that we've dealt with a lot of it in our lives. And my thing is that I say to myself, if that's going to be the case, guess what? We feel that Bernie's not going to give us the BS. So, one of the things that was published, and one of the things that came was an article that was dealing with, it was published by the Politico, and one of the things that actually happened was they said a bunch of things that basically is said that Bernie is getting that vote. Like, it's almost like he has street credit. And that's something that I think is very, very important. And it's amazing to me. And I say that Bernie has the surprise vote. Bloc and Bernie is banking on to win the nomination. And that surprise vote is Latinos. Bernie Sanders literally has barrio credit. He has the street credit. He has the credit of the people of the Latino community. And this is a community that has doubled in size in terms of voting. We want to have our voices heard. More Latinos are running for office. More Latinos are having their voices heard. More Latinos are getting involved in rallies. There were Latinos at the rally at BlackRock the other day. He has San Juan's mayor as running his campaign co-chair. Like, that is amazing. That is a Puerto Rican nationalist. That is somebody who is loved by the Puerto Rican people, and, you know, has a little star power in the sense that he has, you know, Cardi B saying, I like Bernie Sanders. But also, and I think this is something super important, and I think this is something that I believe is something that has to happen. He wants that the Latino vote, which is what he's talking about, they're enormously important, and we're seeing the Latino population grow significantly. We're seeing young people getting involved in a political process in a very important way. The challenges that we face historically, voter turnout, the Latino community is not very high. So we're doing everything we can to grow that in a variety of ways. He recognizes something that many other candidates don't. And it has been historically like a feeling amongst the Latino community, and I grew up in the Latino community half and half. My father was with my father on the weekends and my mother during the week, where they don't feel heard. And it's the same thing in the African American community. I grew up in Cypress Hills, Brooklyn, which is a Latino community. I also grew up in Hollis, Queens, which is predominantly African American. And they don't believe, and I could speak from a lot of truth, that the politicians are looking out for their best interests. So you say to yourself, who is this candidate that is going to change that? Well, guess what? Bernie Sanders is proving that he values the Latino community. And then the other thing he does is that he genuinely is going out and cares about the endorsements of the Latino community, of the people of color, minorities, and he's going out for the people that other people are saying, we don't know if we need them. We got our super PACs, we got our corporations, we got our people. And here's the bottom line. This is something that has been going on for so long. This is something that has happened. This is something that is happened a lot of times. And here's the bottom line that comes to this, is that we have a president in office now who is trying to get rid of the Latinos in this country. He's trying to say, let's get rid of them. Because there was many studies that said the Latino vote was going to be bigger than any other populace. And I felt like, me personally, just an opinion, just an idea, maybe that's a little threatening to a person who is of Caucasian descent and plays golf with white supremacists. Maybe that could be a problem. Maybe. That might be something they might want to nip in the bud. So, what does Bernie Sanders do? He shows care, and what does he do with that care? He goes out and helps, he gets this person. Because this is something that 100% he feels he's going to need to get. He's going to need to get AOC. And he got AOC. He got her endorsement. She is all in. And what does he say? He says, we're going to utilize her as much as possible. That's literally the sentence he put to the political reporter that was interviewing him. We're going to utilize her as much as possible. You know why? I pretend to think that she's young, she's smart, she's got fire, she cares, and you know what? She has charisma. And not to mention, they see eye to eye on a lot of things. And she has revered him and said that Bernie has supported her in her first time in office. He has been the one giving her advice, and she said it at the Bernie Sanders rally that we covered a couple weeks back. And guess what? That is something that I'm going to tell you, that is something that I genuinely believe is going to help his campaign.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statusquo.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statusquo.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.